talk about today is how you can make your success in this program a little more easy, how you can make your success in life a little more easy. That's what we all want, is to really be able to quickly untangle from the chaotic energy of the world and the chaotic nature of our minds and our thoughts. So what I'm about to show you, I've learned it before. This may be familiar with something someone has showed you in the past, but I want you guys to keep this in mind. But let's just say, okay, you got a circle here, right? And you are here. Okay, you're in the middle. And this is all the information in the world, like in the universe. This is all the information available to you. This sliver right here is what you know. You know this information. And I'm probably being generous really here if that's all the information in the world. Right? That would be a generous sliver. That's the things that you know. Then the next sliver, the things you know that you don't know. So it's like, let's say I have a marketing department and I don't know how to do a specific tactic. Like I'm aware, I know that I don't know that information. So you have the information you know, and that you don't know. And that leaves this area, and you guys can probably all tell me what that part of the pie is. It's the stuff you don't know. You don't know. So what does that tell everybody? In order to get the most out of this program and life, we have to constantly be emptying out the cup of this, like, oh, I know it. Especially when you've achieved a certain level of success, you go to a call and it's like, meh, you kind of tune things out because you're like, I know, I've been there, done that, whatever. But then that leaves no room for the growth mindset that puts you in a really fixed mindset, and then you don't get to learn anything new. But let's all just be aware of that this week. Like, let's make a commitment to ourselves that I'm going to be aware that there is this much information in the world that I don't know. So you're working with very limited information. So the best way that we can really combat that is literally to come to terms with it, and then get as open-minded as we can. And the reason that networking is so important, I think of networking as like the new currency. It's like, how many people could you call right now around the world that you could go to like a free, or even just not in the country, free vacation in Cape Cod? They're going to feed you. They're your friends. They're going to put you up. Okay. We talk about networking in the career space, but networking has become so powerful that it's going to get you the answers that you need in the don't know what you don't know space, and a lot of perks in life, right? It's just everybody has something to offer. The world has stuff to offer, and it's all sitting in this space. Networking is the new currency, and you're going to get all the answers here and inside this program. So we are experts in this industry, so you constantly have to be thinking, they know all the things I don't know. So how can we exchange information? How can we get better at networking? And how can we get excited about networking again because of this fact that we just don't know what we don't know? One of the ways that you're going to be able to get more of this information is if you are non-emotional about it. I talk a lot about transparency, vulnerability, getting to know your thoughts, emotions, actions, right? But I wanted to make sure that I'm being very crystal clear in the sense of you shouldn't be bringing all of your emotions into every decision you're making, all of your emotions into every conversation that you're having, because high emotion essentially equals low intelligence in that moment when you're acting from emotion. That fight or flight state, you're going from high intelligence to low intelligence when you're letting your emotions take over. So it's not trying to eliminate high emotion because we can't, because we're human. We want to be able to decrease how much this high emotional state is affecting our action. So just immediately everybody write down high emotion equals low intelligence. When you go into these interviews, we need to be coming from a very stable place. So get to thinking, where are you capping yourself? Like, where are you limiting yourself by just being too emotional? What area of this job search, what area of life are you limiting by just simply being too emotional about it? I have a formula here called TEA, thoughts, emotions, actions. You'll hear me always go back to that. So you have the T line. I call it the T line. So you have your circumstances in life, right? And then you have your outcomes. Always in between that, you have your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. Okay. Your thoughts are where we get in trouble because then it generates an emotion and then usually an action or inaction. Okay. So in this case, many of you, not all, could say I'm unemployed. Okay. That's the circumstance. The circumstance should always be able to be argued in a court of law. It's very black and white. It's not in question. The sky is blue. You're unemployed. Try to make it a fact of life. Okay. Your thought about it could be, I'm a failure. I say that because I've had a lot of these conversations and that's a very common one. Your emotion about that obviously could be very sad, anxious, depressed. Your thoughts could be, I'm never going to find a job. I'm too old. I'm too young. I'm too black. I'm too white. It's my resume. It's this, it's that. And it ultimately is landing you in a really bad emotional state. And from emotional states, what did I just say? High emotion, low intelligence. So with low intelligence, you're going to have pretty actions or inactions. Okay. Because this is biology. This is what happens inside of our brain. And these thoughts are happening so quickly that they're hard to notice. Then you land in that emotional state. Acting, you've almost completely lost control of how you're acting, how you're showing up, what you're doing. Then we know what the outcome is going to be. Likely nothing or something really whatever it is. I mean, I know I'm staying pretty general here because when I individually coach you guys, we can go to individual thoughts and break them down this way. So let me give you a new idea. The circumstances, I'm in a job search, I'm unemployed. Okay. Let me give you some new thoughts to play with. Because again, with these thoughts, they have to feel good. They have to work for you. They have to be believable. So like with my fitness thing, I'm not going to run off and say like, oh my God, tomorrow I'm going to squat my body weight. Well, probably not, but I do need to get to the gym. So I'm going to go to the gym tomorrow. Okay. That feels right. What emotion does that bring up? Excitement. Then the action is I'm probably going to go. So my plan is for you to be able to put this in place to get out of the chaos of your brain. It's chaotic up there. Another thing. So the quality of your questions will determine the quality of your results. I always talk about that in this program. Ask questions, engage. You're not going to get what's available to you in this group if you're not asking questions. So take a look at the quality of the questions that you're asking. How specific can you get it to your actual situation? Trying your best to eliminate fear, shame, embarrassment. The only bad question is the question not asked, right? So you got to put yourself in the hot seat because everything you want is outside of this comfort zone. And oftentimes you could be one question away from a huge breakthrough. You could be one question away from victory, depending on, because this could be applied to any area of life. It's like, what are the quality of the questions you're asking around communication? This goes for friendships, networking. You can really, really shock people by getting the quality of your questions and content up. Shock people in a good way, shake them, be memorable. Like, wow, no one's ever asked me that before. I like to look at it like a magnifying glass. Like, okay, I'm looking at stuff now. How can I really look a little deeper here? One thing I pride myself on is asking amazing questions and not going into it with the idea of like, oh my God, I sound like an idiot right now. You don't know what you don't know. It goes back to the graph. How are you going to get the answers to those questions if you're not asking a lot of questions, high quality questions?